What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Downstream. It's back with another video. Today we're reacting to the top 10 worst travel destinations that are still popular. Please show a like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Road to 200 subscribers. This video is by Mojo Travels. I'm sure this is like a subsection of Watch Mojo. Watch Mojo used to have them lists back in the day, man. But I think they've been doing these lists for so long, they lists don't hit like they used to. So I'm either prepared to be amazed or a clown this list. But let's get right into it.
Welcome to Mojo Travels, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 worst travel destinations that are still popular.
Are you a fan of our videos? Be sure to subscribe to Mojo Travels and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.
For this list, we're looking at some of the most overrated and consistently disappointing destinations from around the world. Cities, specific landmarks, we're talking about all of the above.
Cities and landmarks. If your whole city gets called a bad travel destination, that's tough.
Number 10. The Leaning Tower of Pisa. Does a lack of structural integrity really make a tower a must-visit attraction? The Italian city of Pisa has long attracted crowds from around.
So this is an attraction because it's a leaning building. But hey, I don't really like people like this, bro. Like, they probably more excited to take the picture being there than actually being there itself. Because one thing I noticed, especially, like, they probably put this picture on their Tinder bios and be like, love to travel. A lot of people, I've noticed something. I actually like traveling. So that's why I noticed this. A lot of people don't really love traveling for like the experience itself. They love traveling just to say they did it. That's something I notice about people. A lot of people just like to travel, but just to say, hey, I traveled. And they definitely give that vibe.
With its iconic landmark. But ask a traveler who's actually made the trip, and they're unlikely to have a whole lot to say about the experience. Yep, it's leaning. In fact, the government has had to sink a fair amount of
you can actually go up to the top of a leaning building. That's
time
insane.
And energy into it to keep it leaning, and not, completely collapsed.
So they paying to keep energy, like workers to keep the building leaning instead of fall, so it don't fall. So did they build this with the intentions of it being a leaning building? Because I'm sure that's not the case. If that's not the case, right? What was the original purpose of the building?
If you're looking for a silly photo op, sure, feel free to pretend that you're holding it up. But there's no pose that
that's the building people go in front of and act like, I'm holding this building.
Is reasonably impressive.
Oh, that's that
Italy
building.
Is
I had
full
a
of
teacher.
impressive and historic
Me and him
structures.
follow each other
Plus,
on social media.
It's smaller
he has
in
that.
person than you'd expect.
Smaller in
Number
person?
9. Touristy London.
The whole is London. I think it's a city in England. The whole London is a L. I gotta hear your reasoning.
Or even scorching take if you want, but we stand by it. Look, London is an incredible city. Duh.
Okay.
It's culturally and historically rich, with much to offer travelers looking for a rewarding travel experience. The thing is, to actually truly get a real taste of modern-day London, you need to get away from the city center. Approach it like a straight-up tourist, and you're going to burn through your budget in a matter of days.
Let's be real, though. Let's be real. People traveling outside of the country, I'm not saying every time, but 9 times out of 10, they already have the money and the funds to do so. So, like, why are we, like, let's rate the destination based off the destination itself. Not, oh, you really, because that argument could be made for any place. Especially if you don't have the money. You're not going to like Miami if you don't have money. You're not going to like, I don't know, Nebraska if you don't have the money. I mean, Nebraska's probably not an expensive place. But I digress. Any semi-expensive place, if you don't really have enough money, you're not going to enjoy it. So, if you let's take it let's take this from the perspective of somebody who does have the money.
And as for all those iconic sites, well, they tend to lose their luster when you have to spend your day waiting in long lines, elbowing through crowds to get a decent view, and then realizing just what limited access you actually have to many of the city's most iconic sites. Also, if you're the sort of traveler who's weather dependent, you might want to skip it.
Being what weather dependent is a real thing. I'm not gonna lie, when it rains, like it was raining when it was raining earlier, I don't be, oh my gosh, it's raining. I just think of, it's raining. It'd be a nice time if I had a bay to be cuddled up, you know? That's the only thing I think of when it rains. Or like, it's storming, I'm sad, or I'm scared. Like, y'all, weather depends, especially if most of the events that you plan on doing on a trip is inside. Why are you going to let the weather on the outside determine your mood? Now, if you're trying to go to like an amusement park or something, sure, like it's been raining this whole week and I'm only in the area for this week, so I couldn't enjoy the park.
Altogether.
Stuff like that,
Number
sure.
8. Las Vegas, Nevada.
Hey, I think I did a tier list video about a year ago, or about some months ago. I want to apologize to anybody from Nevada, well, more specifically Vegas, because I think I gave y'all a B tier, maybe A tier, because I said something about if you don't enjoy drinking or getting high, Vegas might not be for you. But Vegas has a lot of cool buffets, from what I heard. And even if you're not gonna gamble, if you have this self-discipline and when you're out there, at least gamble a little bit. That's what I probably would do, personally, just a little bit.
It has their own definition of fun. If you're into cheap hotel deals, expensive but lavish buffets,
but at the same time, I heard that Vegas ain't a place you want to spend a whole week at.
Endless displays
it's
of
like
excess.
the strip is like the main part.
Oh, also gambling. It's a great place for gambling. All those flashing lights are undeniably mesmerizing. There are a few places on Earth where you're reminded more constantly of the fact that everything around you is man-made. By that same token, all that artifice can make the whole experience feel, well, fake. The Las Vegas Strip is one big adult playground, and your interactions there get old fast. It begins to feel like every conversation that you're having is a transaction or a sales pitch. And while at first glance it may seem like Vegas has everything you could ever want, after a day or two, you begin to realize that it's all one big homogeneous experience. Number 7. The CN Tower.
What's that?
Call us jaded, but tall buildings just don't hold the appeal that they once did. Toronto's CN Tower was the tallest building in the world, among other records, until it was eclipsed by the Burj Khalifa in 2007.
Okay, I could kind of see that. Since it's not the tallest building anymore, maybe it loses some value. I could see that. So I'm not really mad at this one. Vegas, definitely like I said, people that I know that's been to Vegas that don't participate in certain activities, they even said themselves, Vegas, and people that do participate in those activities. So I know both ends of it. They were both like, Vegas ain't a place you want to spend a whole week there.
Undeniably
and I
makes
definitely
for an
don't agree
eye-catching
with
focal point of the Toronto skyline, but
this
is it
place
worth
is
the price of admission
London
to
either. I
actually
don't
go
agree with that
inside?
either.
Many people will tell you that the answer is no. It provides a great panoramic bird's eye view of the city, but 35 Canadian dollars is steep. And there's an additional charge.
You tripping over $35? You don't need to be traveling at all, lady. I'm sorry, but have you just ever thought maybe traveling isn't for you? Maybe that's something you thought about.
The highest observation point. That's one seriously expensive view. Besides, as any local will tell you, Toronto is the sort of city that you really need to immerse yourself in and explore on foot to fully appreciate. Regardless, the CN Tower remains one of the city's most popular tourist attractions. Number 6. Times Square. It's sort of like Las Vegas, except it's smaller, more crowded, there are no hotel deals to speak of, and gambling is off the table. New York City is a bucket list destination for travelers around the world,
I love to go to
and
New York.
rightfully so. There are few cities on Earth more vibrant or diverse. It's a city of hidden gems, larger-than-life characters, and unique experiences that you really can't find anywhere else. Too bad that so many first-time visitors miss out on all of the above. New York City's authentic charms are often entirely overshadowed by the bright lights of Times Square. And there's literally nothing but tourist traps to be found here. Massive crowds, pricey but terrible restaurants, souvenir shops, and pushy street vendors are pretty much all you'll find. While you're avoiding Times Square, you might as well skip Liberty Island as well. It's best appreciated from afar. Number 5. Venice, Italy. Are you tired of hearing about the over-tourism issues in Venice? Well, so are the locals. The overpopularity of Venice is a lose-lose for everyone involved. The local residents have all but completely lost their regular way of life to the insatiable hunger that tourists have for this remarkable and historic city over water. As a result, it's all but impossible to have anything even vaguely resembling a satisfying or authentic experience there. The city's iconic sites like St. Mark's Basilica and Palazzo Ducale remain intact, but Venice itself feels like a shell of its former self. Storefronts are almost exclusively tourist traps, and there are souvenir shops around every corner. With long lines just to get from A to B, it feels more like a Venice theme park than a functioning city. The local government is making major efforts to address the problem. Here's hoping that change is on the horizon.
So it's probably more tourists that go there on a year-to-year basis than actual people that live there.
Number 4. Loch Ness. Hey,
I heard
if you're
about
just
this.
in it for the beautiful landscape, then by all means, please visit Loch Ness. That being said, the Scottish Highland is chock full of picturesque lakes
I'm not
that
gonna
are
lie,
less
bro.
crowded.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. This lady that's narrating this video, I don't know if she's reading off a script, or she actually believed this stuff. But these people make you not want to travel at all, bro. They gonna find something bad to say about every destination. Now, Loch Ness is the place with the whole mythical Loch Ness monster. And if you're just traveling a place to be the one to explore the Loch Ness monster, then I hate to be that guy, but don't go there just to try to find out about a monster. That's silly.
And more affordable. We're not here to argue whether or not the Loch Ness monster actually exists, but unlike Nessie, let's be real here. You are not going to be the one to spot any creature and finally confirm its existence during your 3-day stay. And here's the thing,
Wait, people only
all
say
the
that for
business
3
that
days?
has built up around the loch's namesake creature transparently aims to milk as much as it can from this dubious claim to fame. On average, you're likely to overpay for everything from your accommodations to a cup of tea as a result. Also, people seem to be overwhelmingly disappointed with the Loch Ness Center and exhibition, which has been described as both outdated and overpriced. Number
Now, if
3,
it's outdated, I can...
Santorini, Greece.
Thought Greece was another place people love traveling to. Bro, I know somebody in this video at least had to been to one of these places or live in New York or Vegas. 'Cause I'm pretty sure most of my viewers are American. Hey to y'all that's from other countries as well. That means I'm international. But somebody has to see this video and confirm at least one of these places are actually overrated, because
Once upon a time, there was a magical island called Santorini.
It seems
With
like
its soaring
Greece.
cliffs,
See, it looks
breathtaking
like a nice
ocean
place.
views, delicious seafood, welcoming people, and charming little towns. It seemed almost too good to be true. But it was real, and those lucky enough to know about it and make the trip quickly fell in love. But then, word spread and the tourists began to arrive by the boatload. Nowadays, during the normal tourist high season, travelers drastically outnumber locals. Tourism
Same
has
thing with
eclipsed
them as
all
with
other
the other
traditional
places must be.
industries and has brought in cookie-cutter tourist-centric businesses to match. The blue and white city of Ia is theoretically as beautiful as ever, but you can hardly make out the details amidst the throngs of tourists crowding its narrow streets. When an island of only about 15,000 residents plays host to over 2 million visitors a year, the island culture gets crushed. Number 2, the Blarney Stone.
What's that?
Don't get us wrong, we're suckers for a local legend and good old-fashioned folktale. But we also have a strong aversion to long lines for attractions that are consistently underwhelming. Sometimes the story surrounding a particular object of fascination is far more compelling than the object itself. Such is the case with the Blarney Stone, which, true to its name, is really just a block of limestone. Set in place on Blarney Castle in 1446, the rock has a number of conflicting origin stories, but the general consensus is that it gives the gift of gab, as in eloquent speech. All you have to do is lie down and plant a big kiss on the centuries-old rock. Spoiler, people...
I'm not kissing a rock. Even before the pandemic, I'm not kissing a rock that a bunch of people had their mouth on too, bro. I'm not kissing a rock, bro. What is wrong with y'all, bro? I know there's superstitious people who are very superstitious out there, but at what point are y'all being overly superstitious? Have y'all ever thought about that?
Don't generally report suddenly having a newfound way with words, but people keep visiting this tourist trap and paying good money for it. Kissing a high-touch surface these days? No thanks. Number 1. Christ the Redeemer. The city of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil has one of the most iconic skylines in the world.
Brazil seems nice to visit, but I also heard, like, I'm surprised, not New Mexico. I'm surprised Mexico City wasn't mentioned. I'm pretty sure people go to Mexico a lot, but I heard it's pretty dangerous when you go to Mexico because, like, especially if they know you're not from there, and they know you from the U.S. Certain parts of Africa that they say are beautiful can also be dangerous for an American. So, like, I was surprised she didn't mention. Why mention expensive? Because, like I said, if you traveling outside of the country, more times than not, it's people that have the money to do so. That don't necessarily mean you the most hardest, strongest person.
Seriously, between its towering mountains, the beachfront, and this awe-inspiring statue, it looks more like concept art for a fantasy film than anything else. So, to be clear, we highly recommend checking out this incredible city. But, like New York City's Statue of Liberty, the Christ the Redeemer statue is better appreciated from afar.
I never knew people said that about the Statue of Liberty.
Its impact is most valuable as part of the bigger metropolitan picture and the sense of drama it brings to the city as a whole. It doesn't need to be seen up close and personal, because when you get up there, it's honestly smaller than you'd expect. Plus, there's always a massive crowd, effectively making it impossible to get the dreamy sort of photo op that you've been imagining. If you want a great view of the city, considering checking out Pal de Azúcar, Sugarloaf Mountain, instead.
Do you agree with our picks?
Hey, I guess a W video, I guess. I'll let y'all determine if there was a W video. Especially y'all that love travel, because hopefully some people that love travel saw this and they recommended and they actually comment their thoughts. Because a lot of this, I'm kind of like, I don't think this lady knows what she's talking about. But anyway, please show a like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Road to 200 subscribers.